Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Last time we went into the garden and talked about it a very long time for a very short area. And today we are in the Untended Graves, the area that we unlocked last time at the end of our journey. And this is a very familiar area to us because this is basically the tutorial area, just with different enemies in them. And I mean, the sky is completely black, you can't even see anything further than, how far is it, like 20 meters or so, maybe less, whatever. And it's interesting. They've actually reused an area here, an area that we are very familiar with, and they've just changed the enemies. So technically this is backtracking, or some form of backtracking, and it's actually the form of backtracking that I personally enjoy, because if you force your players to go through the same level again, I mean, I'm not being forced right now, but right, if I want to explore this, I have to go through the same level layout again, then it's a good idea to mix things up. And they've done it here. The atmosphere is completely different. It's like a what the fuck moment, similar to Bloodborne, when you, for example, see the Hunter's Workshop, the old Hunter's Workshop, whatever it's called, the thing where you have to jump to in order to get to, where it's basically the Hunter's Dream just in the real world. And here it's similar. Just in this one you have beefed up enemies. It's basically, it's not a tutorial area anymore. We have our bonfire over here. This is where we came out of. And the rest I think is the same. What I might just do is fly around with the free cam. Not now though, but let me quickly make it so, okay, yeah, I'm ready to activate free cam now at any moment. But here we have our first item, a shriving stone. Okay. So, you know me, I like to go to the dead ends, and because I know this area already, I know that I have to go this way, where we first woke up. And in our coffin, there are now these dudes standing around, and I should get rid of them. For the storyteller screams. And they fully transform. Always a good idea to get the first attack. And this is basically our coffin. Or maybe not. It's not really sure. I'm not really sure about this. We get the Ashen Estus ring. Let's read this one. And of course I'm going the wrong direction first. Grey crystalline ring crafted from shards. Increases FP restored by Ashen Estus flask. Once a treasure bought before Lothric's queen, she had it enshrined in the cemetery of untended graves, so that one day an unkindled might profit from its use. That's interesting, so that one day an unkindled might profit from its use, which lets me believe that this might not be the first time, because usually if you're doing the cycle normally, you don't need the unkindled, you just need the undead. But now we're unkindled, it's like the worse version basically. It's like shit hit the fan, no one is there to light the fire, the old lords don't want to light the fire, or the dudes who already prolonged its life cycle, they don't want to do it anymore. Now we have to do it. Like, we are the last the last effort, so to speak. But it also tells me that Lothric, or Lothric's queen, is very pro-cycle, I guess. Where, like Lothric and Lorien, like the actual dudes, Lothric in particular, who is named after this kingdom, or vice versa. I think he's named after the kingdom, right? He doesn't care, right? Like, his soul is probably strong enough to let himself burn, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. That's why Amma called us, right? Shit hits the fan. Like, we will see this in the next episode, probably. We will see how the sky looks now. And, yeah. But this area is also... This area is so strange. I don't know where we are right now. Because... Like... What is this? Where are we? That's the question that I want to ask. Where are we? Very German V again. Where are we right now? Is this the actual cemetery and the actual Firelink shrine? Or is the Firelink shrine and cemetery that we started the game out and our hub, is that the real version? And then where are we? Is this the past? Is this the future? Is this another dimension? Is the normal, or is the Firelink shrine where we send the NPCs to, is that the pocket dimension, or what is this? Is it like the same time is convoluted story? And in this story part, like we traveled worlds, and we are now in a different world where the fire faded. Is this what it looks like when there is no fire? Is this the future, or is this a possible future? If yes, then how did we get here? Is this cave a teleportation device? Because in the like when we go up there again, when we go up the hole again, if we could do that, if we could just jump up there where we came from, back to the King's Garden and so on, then we are all of a sudden in the world before shit hits the fan, or before the fire faded. And now we're in a world where the fire is already gone out. It's kind of strange, because there was no teleportation or something. It's very strange. Like, where are we right now? Is this the actual Firelink shrine? Then why is it dark? And so many questions and no answer so far. Because if this is a possible future, then we teleported somehow, somewhere. But then if this is how... if this is what it looks like when the fire fades, then what is up with the drag heap? Or is it called the drag heap? Isn't this how it looks like when the fire fades? Like everything is being clumped together into a big bunch of nothingness? Or is this the next step after this here? First it becomes dark and then... it's very strange. It's nice to see a step up in difficulty in this case. Like, this is the exact place where we fight our first giant... what are they called? Crystal lizard? Or I think called Ravenous Crystal or something, I don't know what their official name is, but I know we have to fight two of them, which makes things more difficult, but not really, because you can just pull one of them. But I think I've talked about this topic in the previous episode, if I remember correctly, where this game is not so much everything has to be realistic. There's a lot of symbolic meaning in certain things, and if you look too close, then it makes no sense because it's not designed to make sense. It's designed to convey a certain mysterium or a certain story, almost like a legend or something, or a like mythology. Like playing through one of these From Software games is like someone is telling you a story of gods and stuff, right? Of heroes and gods. Not so much realism. Because if we have to think like realistically, at least what I like to do is I mean, when I'm talking about realism and the world has magic in it, of course magic isn't necessarily realistic because it doesn't exist in the real world, like IRL, I mean. But if you make a game world where magic is a thing, then it all of a sudden is realistic. And this is, for example, a reason why I don't like elevators in this game, because there has to be a very complicated mechanism and it doesn't make sense. Even in the game world, with the rules the game has already presented to us, it doesn't really make any sense. But great, now I forgot what I wanted to say. Let me think. Right, but even if we tackle this place with in-world realism, then it's really a head-scratching moment, because where are we right now? What is this place? I want to know that. That's the thing that that is bothering me. Because right now there are 2 cemeteries in the same spot. Like, they're in the same spot. Or they should be in the same spot. Which one is the real one and which one is the illusion, or the foresight, or the whatever. Well, let's summon Swordmaster here. Because now we have to fight Udic Skandir once again. But in this game I think it's Master Kandir or something. In this game, in where is it? But there. Swordmaster. Come on. You have someone to beat. Champion, not master, champion. Come on, Swordmaster, show me what you can. Champion versus master. Nice hit. Nah, I leave the HUD on right now, for the time being. I want to see how much damage he can deal before he dies. I like that. I don't like it. Like, they gave the NPCs or the summons more damage resistances, so that they're not getting 2 or 3 shotted, because their AI is completely dumb. But as you can see, it's like, at best they're just some random ass tanks for you. Or they're maybe making the game actively more difficult. Oh, what I need to talk about in this version with Champion Gundyr is his extended moveset. Because he now has a lot of moves that he didn't have before, which is also very nice. I really appreciate this, because where we had the stupid Pass of Man beforehand that overtook him during his second phase, in his second phase now he has this extremely well-made extended moveset. I mean, it looks amazing. These moves are really cool, and they're also something that you probably didn't expect your first playthrough, during your first playthrough, and it throws you off guard. It offers you an extended challenge, or a new challenge, where they even, like, you even have to kill the same boss. But then it turns out it's not the same boss, it's actually a better version of the boss, which makes things fresh again, so that they're not so boring. Because imagine this would have been the exact same boss fight, then that would be terrible. That would be so terrible, but luckily it's not. Let's read Champion Gundyr's soul. Where is it? There. Once a champion... Oh, sorry. Once a champion came late to the festivities and was greeted by a shrine without fire and a bell that would not toll. That's an interesting story. That's a very strange story. It almost, like the wording, and the no, I don't want to talk like that. The wording and the whole story or sentence. It's one sentence, but it's written like a fairy tale almost. Like one of these stories you would maybe try and translate in Latin class or something. During school I had, like, at some point we had to decide if we want to learn French or Latin, and the French teacher was so she left a bad impression on me compared to the Latin teacher, who left a very good and positive impression. So I chose Latin, of course, and I sadly didn't get that teacher, but we always like the things you would translate there, like it's funny because, like, how does Latin lessons look like in our schools? Like, you're learning the vocabulary and the grammar and stuff, right? And then you're just translating shit, because the language isn't really spoken anymore. Just in a few countries. I guess Vatican is doing that, or whatever it's called, but it's written like one of these stories where it's like not necessarily the truth, but you have to think around corners and stuff, or think outside the box, you would say in English. Like in German we say die Ecke denken, which is like think around the corner, or thinking around the corner. And like in English you say think outside the box. It's basically, it's the same thing, just whatever. Like, once a champion came late to the festivity. What festivities? There are no festivities. He's just testing the strength of the unkindled, I guess. That's That's his purpose. That's Udix Gandir's or Champion Gandir's purpose, I guess. I mean, Udix definitely, but Champion Gandir, I don't know. And yeah, sure, this is a shrine without fire. And with no bell that tolls, but... same question, where are we? This is not my Firelink shrine. This must be a different world. A different parallel world. Or parallel universe, whatever. And it reminds me of the NPCs, like... does every unkindled... do they have their own world? Is there really just one unkindled per world? And then at some points when you can summon them or when you see them in your... it's very strange. Sometimes reality splits and they meet each other again. I guess that's how it works in this game. Best example again, Andre. I've talked about this in previous episodes, but you can kill Aldrich in her world or in his world, depends on your gender, I guess, in their world. And then you have to kill Aldrich in your own world as well, so... they're different timelines meeting each other and splitting up again. So, same area, just different things. And then this time we have, instead of having hollows here, we have Black Knights, which is strange. And they're pretty strong. The most dangerous Black Knight is probably the one with the great, or with the ultra great sword, this version over there. It's definitely the version that I have the most problems with. This one is even patrolling. It's really, like, I kinda wish I could walk through this area the first time around. Like, delete the memories and walk through here the first time. Because it's such a great feeling, like, you have a very difficult boss. Like, it started out fairly difficult. Like the Grave Wardens. These two dudes with the dual blades that we had in the first area before Champion Gandir. They're not that easy. I mean, they're definitely one of the stronger common enemies, I would say. Then two crystal lizards. If we fight both of them at the same time, it's not easy as well. And then here, the difficulty spikes up a bit because, like, Black Knights are fairly strong. Maybe you've learned their moveset so that you can get rid of them easily without taking damage, but I haven't during my first playthrough. I haven't done that. And even now it's fairly... like, the timings are very tight, I must say. And then with the narrow visibility, or with the limited visibility that you have, it's always like a... it's nerve-wracking. Around every corner there could be a Black Knight. Let's see what's around this corner. If I'm being surprised by a Black Knight. Of course there is. I kinda don't remember. Do we have the version with a smaller sword? Oh. What an interesting grave we have here. It almost looks like Artorias' greatsword. And it's fitting because we find the Hornet Ring here. The Ring of Siren. That's her name, right? Oh yeah, there it says it. Ring associated with the Lord's Blade, Siren, or however you pronounce that. One of the 4 knights of Gwyn, the First Lord. The masked Siren was the only woman to serve in Gwyn's 4 nights, and her curved sword granted a swift death to any and all enemies of the throne. What is wrong with the formatting? It's so strange. But okay, some visual storytelling here. This is supposedly a grave of Artorias, or a grave offered to Artorias. This is not literally where Artorias lies, but you know, you sometimes put a headstone somewhere which symbolizes, or which gives people the opportunity to grieve or acknowledge this person's death, to honor them or something. Because to many people it's easier to remember, honor, grieve to about whatever someone, if they have a physical object they can tend to. And it's understandable. And he starts patrolling once you approach him so that you can't backstab him. Very sneaky mechanic. Chaos Blade. A cursed sword of unknown origin bearing uncanny streaks on its blade. Attacks also damage its wielder. The sword is not unlike a thing misshapen. Misshapen. What? The sword is not unlike a thing misshapen, granted life but never welcome in this world. In other words, chaos itself. True. Chaos is unwelcome in this world, indeed. I guess every item description is written as a tale or story or something. Like an old text. Almost. What's kind of strange to me right now is usually if I play two different, let's call them action RPGs, with different control schemes, I have a hard time switching between them, but I'm currently playing Dragon's Dogma 2, which has a completely different moveset, or not moveset, control scheme, and I'm having no problems with switching between these two, which is very unusual. For me at least, very unusual for me. Yes, so far nothing new, except the enemies and a few items here and there. Let's get to the most important, or most, yeah, probably to the hard piece of this area. The Firelink Shrine, because this is where you want to be, right? This is where the mystery lies. And I really like that we're greeted by this red glow where the thrones are. We have these red glows. I don't know, is there a background sound? No, okay. Then it's somewhere in my room or so, outside, whatever. Because I'm hearing a humming sound right now. So where do I want to go first? Let's see what's up here. Let's see what's up here first. If there is anything. Can we open this door? Ah, we can't. Okay. Nothing up here then. Technically I could access the roof, but that's not an official way, so there shouldn't be anything up there, and there isn't. Sadly on this side here is nothing as well. really feels empty, the lack of music in particular. The only sound that you're hearing are these torches. And then you're wondering, who's lighting these torches? And in a short time we will probably see who does it. But let's grab this item. Coiled sword fragment. Which acts as a infinite homeward bone, which is very nice. Fragment of the coiled sword of a bonfire which served its purpose long ago. So this is the future. Or maybe the past. Returns caster to the last bonfire used for resting. Or to the bonfire and Firelink shrine. Bonfires are linked to one another irreversibly, retaining their affinity long after the purpose is exhausted. Yeah, this is why we can use this to teleport around. We basically have a pocket bonfire that only has a few features left. Only the teleport feature is left, basically. Not the resting feature though. Oh. Who is that? Of course, Dark Souls 2 Firekeeper is still here.
Well, fancy that. A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee? To skirt the curse's grasp, tarry not for long. 'Tis dark for now, and not a soul stirs, but remember, fires are known to fade in quiet. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the poor girl. To skirt the curse's tarry not for long, 'tis dark for now. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the
Oh. The Wolf Knight armor.
Best not tarry long.
Let's read the item description of Artorias' armor. Where is it there? Armor of a knight tainted by the dark of the abyss. The twilight blue cape is damp and will ever remain so. A vanquished knight left behind only wolf's blood and his legacy of duty. The undead legion of Farron was formed to bear his torch, and the armor of these Abyss Watchers suggests their own eventual end. Yeah, nice, I guess. At least we have this armor now. What do we have here? The blacksmith's hammer. Where is it? Is there any interesting lore surrounding this hammer? Where is it? Oh. I might be blind. There it is. Metal hammer passed down amongst blacksmiths of the shrine. Serves as a strike weapon, but also excels at reducing poise and breaking the guard of shield. Of a shield. Of course, a hammer's true potential is realized in the hands of a blacksmith. Yeah, alright. Anything else in here? Nope, doesn't look like it. There is one more item in here, I think. Let's see if there's anything on this side before we go to the other side where the item lies. As we can see, nothing here. And I guess this is the girl the handmaiden was talking about. Because this was a firekeeper once. We got the eyes, which on the picture they look like blueberries. Don't they? A pair of dark eyes, said to be the eyes of the first firekeeper and the light that was lost by all firekeepers to come. It reveals the sightless firekeepers things that they should never see. Okay, so that is mysterious, definitely. But this is also already the area. This is a very short episode, I feel like. But I wanted to see something. For that we need to go back a little bit. What I can also do is give our firekeeper these items. I still have the firekeeper soul. Soul of a firekeeper who is said to have returned from the abyss. Okay. This firekeeper preserves the bonfire and serves its champion. She's said to have soothed and accepted the dark sigil which has tainted her soul, and yet her soul will one day embed itself in the bosom of another firekeeper. Yeah, sure. We can do this later. But I want to see... I don't know what there is. Is there even something to see? Because I feel like there is not. It's just the old map. There's nothing to see. Or in the other map there's something to see. That's the more interesting thing. So let's go to the Cemetery of Ash. Yeah. The place that I want to have a look at. Because I want to see what happens if you go up with the camera to that spot where we end up. Pretty sure the area doesn't load, but it should also be the consumed thingy, like the garden. But let's see. Sadly, the no-clip tool that I could use here. Let me quickly have a look at something. If there exists... No, it doesn't. Nope. Okay. Sadly, the no-clip tool isn't working, so I can't fly around because this is I guess an old version of the... But yeah, nothing here. This is what I wanted to see, so the area isn't loaded. But I wonder if I could teleport myself up here, if I could go into Lothric Castle from this side. Where is it? There, camera. Okay. Only one thing left to do, which is giving the firekeeper some items. And why am I not using this one? And then give my final thoughts about this area. And hear or have a listen at the music. Let me crank it up a bit. Let's give her some
Welcome
items.
home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire.
Let's give her the Firekeeper soul first, because we found it in the tower up there, like in this direction. Let's give her the soul.
Ashen One, this is much like what lies within me. Then let it find its own place within my bosom. She will understand. We are both firekeepers after all. Forgive me, sister. May the flames guide thy way.
Now we can heal the Dark Sigil. So we basically made our Firekeeper stronger with that, which is nice. Now let's give her the eyes of a Firekeeper. kind of feels like upgrading the Firekeeper, like you would upgrade a crafting station in a survival game or something.
Ashen One, are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing.
And now we get different music.
Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire. Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
Yes.
Of course. I serve thee and will do as thou bidst. This will be our private affair. No one else may know of this. Stay thy path. Find lords to link the fire, and I will blindly tend to the flame. Until the day of thy grand betrayal.
It's kind of sad when you hear her talk, like you can hear the fear in her voice, like the voice is trembling. But she still is loyal to the person, or to the Unkindled One. She doesn't refuse any services or anything. Like, she goes with it, but she's afraid of that, what might come. What is kind of cool is, like, I guess these were the eyes of the first Firekeeper. I guess back then, or the first Firekeeper still had eyes. And I guess she saw things that she didn't like, so she maybe removed the eyes, or maybe she died still having the eyes. No, she probably died while having the eyes, but then at some point someone had the idea that firekeepers shouldn't have eyes because of that. That's what I'm getting at, like somehow someone decided that's not the case anymore, that you can't be a firekeeper if you are still able to see. And I guess by giving her the eyes right now, she sees the lightless shrine that we just saw. And for some reason, like, this is a bit fishy, like, we can let her see what we've seen, what the first firekeeper saw, I guess. Maybe saw, maybe not saw, probably not. But by giving her the eyes, like, we suggest, like, we share the vision with her, and I guess she comes up with the idea, is this what you want? I mean, she even asks us, but it's still kind of strange. Maybe it's just a curiosity thing, but what's also kind of weird to me is, like, how is she using the eyes? Like, it's not like she's popping them into her empty eye sockets or what, right? And all of a sudden they're working. That would be disgusting. But maybe that's how it works, I don't know.
Ashen One, forgive me if this soundeth strange. The eyes show a world without fire. A vast stretch of darkness. but 'tis different to what is seen when stripped of vision. In the far distance, I sense the presence of tiny flames, like precious embers, left to us by past lords, linkers of the fire. Could this be what draws me to this strangely enticing darkness? Ashen One, if thine heart should bend, kill me, and strip these eyes from my person. I will return as the firekeeper I once was, as it has always been.
Okay, so this might be the strange ending where you... Okay, I totally forgot about this dialogue, but if you've played through the game and you know all the endings, one ending, for example, like linking the fire, then the Londor ending, and then two endings with the Firekeeper. Ones where, like, you're not linking the fire and she will tend to the flame. And then the other ending where I guess you step on her head, I guess killing her. And this might be something that she means, maybe? I mean, I could probably kill her now and she will return at some point with the eye, without the eyes.
Ashen One, if thine heart should bend, kill me. I will return as the firekeeper, as it is all.
No, maybe it's not talking about the ending if I think about it. It's probably not talking about the ending. Maybe the strange ending has another meaning.
Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
But I mean, it makes no sense, like... Why should I kill her? I can still link the fire, I'm still able to link the fire. I mean, technically, right now I'm not able to link the fire. If I'm trying to link the fire right now, then the Londor ending will play, because I still have the dark sigils and the strange purple power from marrying Unri. Is there anything else? Not really. The only thing that is left is talking about the level in total. I've already talked about the fact that this is basically backtracking, but the good version of backtracking, and I stand by that statement, because it's the same level layout, that is, the same physical level layout, just with a different theme, with a different mood. Not necessarily the best one. I mean, the best one for this game, probably. If you would do this in a different game, then I would like to see physical changes. I mean, it depends on the game, right? But Bloodborne is a good example for good backtracking, but not really backtracking, where, if you remember the Hunter's Nightmare, you're still going through Central Yharnam or whatever it's called, but it's completely twisted with nightmarish features, with new paths and totally different enemies. Like, and I wouldn't call this necessarily backtracking. You're in the same area, just a dreamed version. It's still a different area. In this game, you're literally going through the same area with the same assets, just with a different lighting, meaning almost no lighting at all, and different enemies, which in this game makes it very mysterious and mindfucky almost. And I appreciate this. It's a short level, it's not designed to be a big level. You have a bunch of challenges in here. The enemies are not easy. You have a well-designed boss fight, basically the boss fight that you weren't ready when you first started playing the game, but you now should be ready for. Like, imagine Champion Gandir or Udex Gandir had this moveset instead of his transformation. Then I'm pretty sure that would be more difficult. Like, the Champion Gandir version is definitely more challenging than the Udex Gandir version. Of course, sure, this one deals a ton of damage, like, but if you would adjust the damage number, like the HP and the damage, the moveset is still much harder than Udex's moveset. So it's pretty cool to see this version. And then exploring the Firelink Shrine is also very... it's fun. There's not much to do there. You can pick up, like, there's one illusory wall, there's one NPC you can talk to, and a few items here and there, but nothing special really. And I'm wondering if, because we had like the Hornet Ring and Taurus's armor there, maybe that was this game's version of Lordran. Maybe that was supposed to be Lordran's Firelink Shrine. Or maybe Lordran... no, Gwyn was the first to link the fire, so this technically was his... after Gwyn, I guess. So maybe the canonical ending of Dark Souls 1 is letting the fire fade? Who knows? And who's the first Firekeeper? Probably... is it the imprisoned woman? Or not? Who knows? I don't. I just know that I really like this level, and I like the treasure hunt, what this level resembles. Because it's nothing new, but it's entirely new. This is probably one of the only or the few instances where going through the exact same level is more exciting than going through the Firelink Shrine the first time. Like, seeing the Firelink Shrine the same game a second time during a different time is probably more exciting than visiting the Firelink Shrine when you first start out the game. Which is awesome. At least for me it was that way. But yeah, I guess we just time traveled by going through that cave behind the chest after Osiris. It must be the case. There must be some kind of portal or something that we didn't see, that we just went through. Well, let's quickly see. We go out of here, if we can actually go out of here, and the stupid fog wall is gone. Come on, get rid of it already. I just want to see something. Nope. That is strange. So this isn't the present time as well. This is also a different timeline. I guess the Firelink Shrine really is in between worlds, or exists in between worlds multiple times. Because the sky is totally different. It looks like it looks always. Like this grayish, almost a bit brownish color in the sky. And if we technically, like, if we look up, we see Lothric Castle. If we teleport there, for example, to the High Wall of Lothric now, we see that time has progressed. Because this is how the sky should look like. We have a dark sign in the sky, or an eclipse. Or an eclipse forming the dark sign. This is how the world looks like right now. But not from the view of the Firelink Shrine, which is a fine detail. And I don't think that they forgot about it. They don't, like, they're not forgetting important things like these. I don't think. So this is an important detail. The Firelink Shrine is separated from the real, from the overarching world here. They're still connected, these two areas, but differently. So I think this confirms that the Firelink Shrine is in its own pocket dimension and you can physically travel to it, but once you step over a certain threshold, you're changing worlds. You're not necessarily teleporting into the Firelink Shrine world, but it kind of reminds me of Spirited Away, if you know that movie. Or do you know how that movie is called in Germany? How we translated it? Because Spirited Away is a fairly short title, right? The Ghibli film or movie. In German it's called Chihiros Reise ins Zauberland, which is like Chihiro's journey into the magic world. Fairly long name, but I guess it's a similar concept where when Chihiro went through that tunnel with her parents, she entered that spirit world and we awoke here. But when we travel too far away from the Firelink Shrine, we are technically going through some sort of barrier that that cuts off the Firelink Shrine from the rest of the world. It's still in the same world. There's just like a... You could explain it with a magical barrier of some sort. But yeah. I really like this episode. I really enjoyed this level design, and I guess also lore talk now. I mean, I'm talking about the visual storytelling here, right? And a few item descriptions here and there. I'm going deep into the lore, but different, but a bit different than you would usually do it. I'm presenting and theorizing on the get-go. I'm not... It's different to other lore discussions and stuff. But yeah, we're finally at the end of the episode. Finally in... and whatever it's called. Like these... No, I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're at the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the next one. Goodbye.